Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I walked out, and it's not raining, and I'm like, Chuck swore it was going to be raining, and I was like, you can't trust that guy. He's just like the weather guys. They don't always get it right. They try, they forecast, they predict. They're doing the best they can, and I know Chuck secretly dreams of two things: being a weatherman, rolling his sleeves up on television, and being Walter Cronkite.
There's some truth to that.
If you could give Chuck any job,
I'd do it for free.
Put me on the news.
I'd do it for free.
And let me talk about it.
I'd do the weather for free.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, let's turn on the Chuck and Bo
There we
show.
go.
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I'm just going to begin today by letting everyone know that it is, dare I say, a monumental day on the Chuck and Bo Show. We have all this equipment, new equipment, taking everything, as we say in the industry, in-house today. And so if it all falls apart,
Well,
that's the reason.
yeah.
Right there.
Well, and I'm expecting it.
I'm not. I think it's going to be fun.
And I mean, no offense to all the three people over here, including our engineer Liz, who I didn't expect her
When
to
the
be in here this
engineer's
morning.
on site,
So I appreciate
that's
that.
when you know it's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, it puts you at ease in one way and complete paranoia in another way.
Reminds me of when the plane's landing,
Yeah.
and you look down and the fire trucks are already on the runway. You know, it kind of lets you know that at the very least they're preparing for disaster, and so we're prepared too. So far, so good, though. I think it sounds great.
I don't like it when the EMT crews are awaiting our landing.
No, you're right.
Our arrival.
No, you're right.
I mean, I'm glad they're there in case of emergency, but I'm not. It doesn't put me at ease.
I'm that way too. And I walked in this morning and I realized things were different, and so but I'm not worried. I know it'll be fun.
Well, I just think we've got to kind of start every show like this, to be honest. That Chuck's lying. I mean, none of this is true, but we just have a bad feeling about the show, and so we're setting up in case. But we should start every show. He's actually not. But we should start every show with if things go bad today.
It's not
if they
our
go
fault.
badly, it's not our fault.
It's somebody else's fault.
That's how you start every argument.
That's right.
You know, that's how you start out. Now,
That's
I know you're not going to believe me when I say this, but I'm not coming at you.
Yeah.
But what you did to me is not okay.
Yeah.
And that usually goes well, doesn't
Yeah,
it? No,
always. Yeah.
Yeah. We
No,
just
you're
kind
right.
of set the scene, lower the expectations. For those listening online, this is a little bit of a programming note. You will hear less commercials, and you'll hear some. I don't know what you call that music. When Edward
Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
Yeah.
When
Smooth
Edward
jazz.
goes,
I tried to mix in a couple
when,
genres.
when he goes into like music mode and finding music, I don't know how he does this. It's uncanny. But no matter what he types in, it could be scary music. It could be soothing music. It could be country. He could literally type anything in. And all we get back is what you hear on hold at a Cancun resort
I know.
or in the spa. But it's like
He always
he's hacked
defaults back to
into
that.
one of these giant hotel corporations that has resorts in Riviera Maya. Like, that's what we get.
What was that old
that's
service
probably
called?
what you're gonna hear.
Muzak
Yeah.
back in the day. You know, the elevator music. He's
It's uncanny.
He's
really.
kind of
I don't-
modified
I don't
that.
know how he does it.
That's all I have. Muzak.
By the way, the phones are a little bit different. Same number.
Yes.
But I'm interested to see if and how that works. Edward will now answer your phone calls.
Wow. You
Yeah.
will hear the voice
You
of
call.
Edward when you call this
Right.
program. Edward
Yeah.
will be the person that you
Or sometimes
visit
me.
with. Sometimes
Sometimes
Bart
Bart.
might go directly to Bart.
For over, 6-7 months, Ty Richardson could tell you exactly how many days it's been because he thought it was going to be 1 month.
And Ty's really done a good job.
He's
in
done a
all
really good
seriousness.
job. He's done a really good job, but I think he's over it.
Well, wouldn't you be?
And, yeah, but so today, instead of getting, who are you? What do you want? Like, okay, fine, you're going to get Edward. And what are you going to say when you answer
Yeah,
the
right.
phone?
Do you have your
I don't have
your
anything
words?
scripted, written
Well,
down.
then
Right,
Bart
right,
hadn't
plan.
talked to you about
I'm just
this?
gonna let it
There's
flow.
only one thing to say.
Hey, welcome
It's
to the
standard.
Chuck and Bo Show.
No, it's standard. Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Yeah.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Come on, hurry up.
Yep.
Tell me.
Curry, I got to get back on the air.
Yeah.
I got to play a commercial break in a minute. Let's test that out. 877-377-6963.
You two can be the first caller
You two.
on our new phone setup.
Yeah.
Talk to Edward.
This is, but it is a monumental day. But it's not any different than any other day. They all have been.
Well, that's fair.
I mean, when I get to come on the show, people ask me every day. I was asked again 3 times last night at my daughter's cheer banquet. Banquet, loose term. It was at Woodstone Pizza.
I saw the pizza, or the picture.
Oh,
I saw the pizza in the picture.
yeah.
Chuck was concerned about the pizza.
It was awesome. No, it was awesome. It's frightening. It's frightening. I have 3 boys and a daughter. She's just turned 14, and I am scared suddenly as she enters high school.
As you should
as
be.
the dad of a daughter. It's my
Well.
first trip into high school
There's
with
a lot of karma
with
at
a
work,
daughter.
too.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't start that.
Don't even.
Don't you start that. Do not start that. Do not get me on that paranoid train. I'm already a little freaking out.
Well,
But I was asked.
as you should be.
I was asked, hey, how do you like doing that show again? There, with Chuck, every day's a treat. Every day's a treat to get in there with Chuck. Look at these phone lines.
I
right
know
here.
they've just
Let
exploded.
let me just try this. Let me just jump ahead in line here. Hello, who's this? Welcome to the Chuck and Bo Show. Yeah, it's going well
okay.
so far.
All right.
There were 3 calls.
Just like
and
old times.
Just like that, they're all gone.
Yeah, well.
Edward's off to a rousing start.
Nice work, Edward.
It's right out of the gate. He's going, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can handle it if you want me to. You want me to answer phones?
Sure.
Hey,
you
man,
want
who
to come
are
over
you?
here?
No, you could just
No,
do it
just
live
do
on the
just
air.
do it live.
I answered.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything.
So for those of you
Really?
that
We're getting prank
Yeah,
calls.
they're-
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Ding dong ditchers.
Yeah.
ding dong ditchers.
So my son, now speaking of games, my son, who's a senior in high school, graduates in a couple. I don't know how, but he's going to graduate in a couple weeks. I don't remember the last time he went to class. But that's an aside. It's also supposed to be funny, but it's also true. Nobody laughed. But I don't know if it's because they're all focused on Edward and this phone situation over here or what. But my son is involved with an assassin game. Have you heard about this?
No.
There's over
Excuse
2
me, what now?
Yeah, it's an assassin game. So there's
Seems
some
dangerous.
app. There's some app, and there's over 200 kids involved. They're trying to win like $800, and it's water guns, and so
I've seen
the
this on
app,
TikTok.
The app randomly select. You get in, you put your name in. Let's say it was me, you, Edward, and Bart, and you randomly get assigned someone to shoot with the water gun.
Right.
Okay. And you are protected as long as you're wearing swim goggles. Now, you don't have to have them on like over your eyes, but you have to have them on your head. Mm-hmm. And so if you were to like walk in the studio and you were my target and you hadn't put them on yet, I'd be like, boom, you're out. And then I would move on to whomever your target was. So there's kids, if you know, all over Fayetteville walking around with goggles on their head. And people are wondering
I
why.
had no idea.
That's what's happening.
Huh.
Yeah, pretty actually.
You know, we never thought of anything
No.
like that at that age.
No, and obviously school's a safe zone. You couldn't take a water gun to school.
Right.
So it's not an
Right.
issue at schools. But like at first, and here's the creepy thing is you have to share your location if you're in the group. So like you could see where everyone is if you're like go on the app and you can see where everyone is. So he's like, Bart's had a crawfish boil over at so and so's house. I'm gonna go see if he's got his
I
goggles
see.
on.
I see.
So
what
so
you're
there
saying.
it's all fair game at any time.
Yeah.
Like
But you have to be assigned. You're only looking for one person at
sure.
a time.
Sure.
It's an elimination game.
Right.
But my son says to me, Dad.
But there's no rest. There's no like break or anything. Like this
no,
could
you're
happen.
always on.
Yeah.
You, like it doesn't matter. Like if you're at a wedding or you're at church or you're at the
Well,
banquet.
that seems a bit
like
much.
there's all there's all these. That's when you get somebody
you're
when
an
they don't have their
assassin,
goggles
man.
on.
I mean, when you're an assassin.
Somebody got one of the kids in the sauna at the athletic club. He's in there in a towel. And they walked in. Bam, you're dead.
Wow.
It's relentless. There's another kid who so Ty tells me don't let anybody open the door. Like if one of my friends show up, like I know you know them, but don't let them in because they might be after me.
Creating a new paranoia
Paranoia,
generation.
Yeah. So they just blow by me and run upstairs. Boom, over. Didn't have his goggles on. So there's and they have a Instagram page, and you have to confirm your kill.
Oh my gosh.
On video.
Like a picture?
Yeah, you got a video doing it. So somebody's
wow.
either got and I know a lot of these kids. So one of them, the first guy out, it's on the Instagram page. Cracks open the door, and the guy after him's like, "You're dead," and he shoves the door open and gets him.
Oh my gosh.
And poor Wyatt goes, "You can't break into my house," and he's like, "You're dead." Didn't have his goggles.
It sounds like a really intense game. You
I
have
was
to
just-
think about it all the time.
I was just thinking maybe we should try it this summer on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Like everyone walk in every morning with their goggles.
We're all
on.
just
in
sitting
case.
here like this.
Well, you
the
can
whole
shoot somebody
show.
live during the show too, so we'd have to wear the goggles during the show. Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking of the entire audience. I'm thinking
Everyone.
about a phenomenon.
Wow.
I'm talking about a
Everyone.
sweeping movement of Arkansas.
I don't know that I
This
want people
summer.
to know where I am.
Like for a couple of days, like for a week.
Well, maybe we'll just let the listeners play.
I mean, there could be a run on goggles. I mean, that's the thing you have to think
I'm
about.
about to buy
that's-
stock.
See, that's
Who
another
makes
thing.
goggles?
Yeah, we got to work the whole thing out.
It could
We
wreck.
gotta-
I mean,
Yeah.
I won't say wreck. It could definitely change the local economy.
Can you imagine if you were a grown man with kids and you're playing this game? Actually, that's exactly what it's like being a wife
Yeah.
for many.
Yeah.
And a mom. Like, grow up.
Yeah. Hey,
Grow up. Why have you been on the Xbox playing Madden for 3 hours tonight? Come on, we got to tuck the kids
Stuff
in.
happens.
We just add one more game to the mix. Anyhow, I just told that story so I could get Edward through the segment. What's going on? How's
There's a caller.
We
There's a
actually
caller.
have a call.
I spoke to him.
We're going to try again.
Wow. This is it right here. This is the
The
moment.
font on this
very
call
small.
screen
It's very small.
is smaller than,
Yeah.
well, let's just say it's
Yeah.
small.
It's very small for old guys. I'm just going to tell you that.
Let me,
We're going to have to go bigger. Eric, though, is on the line in Fort Smith. Eric, you are on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
yeah.
Yeah. Eric?
Yep. It's testing.
Yeah.
We tested everything out, guys, except for the calls. He's there.
Edward,
it's
scream,
on.
or Eric, scream a little louder.
Eric, just know that we appreciate you calling in. Are you there?
It says
We
he should be
appreciate
there.
you letting us know it's not working. We have until 8 o'clock to get this fixed before we have Chris Lowe on.
Hey, I was going to let you guys know this is not working.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chuck.
If there's any confusion,
Yeah. Well, I'm sweating over here.
it'll be okay.
I'll tell you, Eric wanted to talk about baseball.
He
so
did.
We'll do
we
that.
got a game tonight?
We'll do that when we come back. UAPB.
That's right.
Midweek series. So now, Edward, the thing is, you got to do multiple things at once because we're going to go to break now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready to
tell
go?
me when.
Okay, you ready to go to break?
3, 2.
It's 6:15. the monumental Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Bo, if I was as good a husband as you were a man on the radio, my wife would bow to me every day. You guys are top notch.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year's sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year. But replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Just thinking, what is a Pirates' favorite college football team?
Say it, Bart.
Arkansas.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
They look at each other and say, if we don't come together, we may not win a game. If we don't come together, this isn't going to happen for any of us. They knew.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
See where Mason Jones?
Yeah.
Named the finals MVP in the G League. Their team won the championship, and he averaged 33 points per ball game over the course of this series. And they won the title, and he won the finals MVP.
Shot 57%
That's awesome.
from three with 8.3 attempts per game from three and made 57% of them.
You know, every time his name comes up, I think about the early part of his career and how he and Muss they butted heads every day at every turn. And, I'm sure they'd laugh about it now. But I'm telling you, every day it was like, what's Muss going to be mad at Mason about today? And, it really was. And it was they had this relationship that you just don't see very often between coaches and players. They loved each other, but there were days they hated each other's guts. There were days I thought Muss was going to run Mason off the team, out of Fayetteville, out of his life. And there were other days I thought Mason was going to do it on his own. But somehow, some way, they kept it together. And I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
He's obviously blossoming as a basketball player, and that doesn't happen unless you blossom as a person too. I mean, it just, generally speaking, it doesn't happen. So I'm thrilled for him. But he is one of those examples about, kids that are good kids. I mean, his family's a good family, but stubborn, going to do it his own way, drive you nuts. And so it's nice now to see him succeed because he really is a good guy.
He was a late bloomer, and I think that's still true. I think it's still happening for him. But like middle school, high school, I mean, he had weight issues, and it wasn't anything like he was when you saw him star for the Razorbacks, and he just continued to develop. And he's among the best scorers I've ever seen at Arkansas. I mean, that's a list. There's a few of them. I mean, Rodney Clark could score from anywhere. We forget about him. Mason Jones could just get on a tear, and you just think everything is going in. Step back threes, didn't matter the angle, and he's just kind of been hanging around the G League. And I still think he's got a chance.
Well, I mean, all it takes is one contract and a little run. And that 10-day deal, all of a sudden you're not a two-way player anymore. And I hope that happens for him.
Dusty Hannah's another one. Man, we've had some, even in years where they didn't go deep in the tournament, we've had some really exciting teams to watch. And I think that's just going to continue to grow with Cal. Being a Razorback basketball fan, I think it has gone to another level. I think Muss started it, and Cal's continuing it, and the level of player that you're going to get on this roster every year is only going up. I think the Ewan kid was on campus yesterday.
Guy from Florida State.
I hate it when people say that. I just did it. The Ewan kid. Yeah, the kid was on campus. Malik Ewan.
Sounds like Coach Richardson back in the day. Hey, that Williamson kid.
Yeah, right.
The Thurman kid.
Yeah.
The Beck kid from Memphis.
Yeah.
By the way, the text line does work. It's working
people,
like a charm.
Oh, it's right there.
Someone asked if it was working. And,
Seth in South Arkansas.
Yes, it is working.
So, yes, Seth, now what do you have?
Is Seth on the line?
No, I'm saying,
yes,
Seth,
it works.
The answer is yes. Now what do you have? Is this text reaching you? Yes.
Yes.
Hit the next one. What do you have?
Somebody, going back to our conversation from the last segment, somebody did ask, could you imagine Eddie being an assassin in that game you're talking about?
Yes.
That would be fun.
Yes. You're dead.
It would be amazing.
You're out.
There's a little hog dog.
I got you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, what would his catchphrase be when he did?
Here's your hog delight, baby.
Yeah. How about take that hog delight? Woo!
The hog train just rolled through you.
Yeah. We need to, at minimum, we need to have a good old water gun fight.
You guys ever throw water balloons when you're kids?
Oh, yeah.
You ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Or eggs. We can just throw eggs at each other.
Man. Well, eggs are too expensive now. I mean, it's like, it's like you're throwing $5 silver at somebody.
Chuck's coming in here. He's got his dauber down. You're like, what's wrong, man? The price of eggs.
Oh, I know.
Killing me.
Hey, I was...
I had to try I had to go to cereal.
That's right. Well, and rolling somebody's yard's no fun. Everybody does that.
Yeah. Well, we got paintball. We can do that.
That's pretty serious business.
The Chuck and Bow games coming this summer.
That's right. That would be fun.
Oh. We just need an organizer and
All
somebody to run
borderline athletic events.
Bart, you think you can handle that? Organize that, put it together?
Yeah, sure.
The Chuck and Bow games?
Why not?
We need to do that.
Actually, this sounds like a great idea.
It really does sound fun.
We're going to do the Chuck and Bow combine.
All the borderline athletic events.
Combine.
Yeah. How many events could Chuck and I win in the combine against you two?
Well, how many could we finish? I thought that's what you were going to say. How many could we finish and avoid injury doing?
Stationary stuff like the bench press.
Oh, it'd be,
We'd have to get them on that.
No, that's far too athletic.
I might be able to
these
get
have
you
to be borderline at best.
Just because of my stature, I might be able to get you on the cone drill. Yeah. You'd be falling all over yourself, Bart. Edward's still young enough
I'm a little too tall. Yeah.
Where he could.
I'm an old man. I'm just trying not to die.
Well,
you guys would be like, cone drill? Are you kidding me? I'm not doing the cone drill.
We got to come up with the Chuck and Bow games. We'll figure out.
I like this
summer
for men of leisure.
Yeah. Right. Well, a golf shot's got to be in there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe
a game of bowling.
Maybe trying to hit a
Lawn
softball
darts.
Yeah.
200 feet.
Putting in the putting on a putting green in the house, putting strip.
I want to
like
see
that.
you and Bart in the old 3-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just if there's
I agree, Chuck.
If there's even the slightest risk of physical injury,
Well,
it's not going to happen.
I want to see it. I want to see it just because I want to see it. Here's another one.
If I get hurt, I'm suing. I'm just going to tell you, I'm suing.
You're going to have to sign a waiver.
Not a chance.
Sack race. The old sack race. How about that one? Edward and
Tug
Bart.
of war.
Edward and Bart in the sack race. Tug of war.
You guys,
we need to bring back the tug of war.
You guys
I don't
too
know what's
young to
happened to it,
remember.
but I would like it to come
They
back.
need to do that for like overtime in NFL games to see who gets the ball first.
Yeah, that's great.
Fayetteville
teams
used to
out there.
have Springfest, and they'd have bed races down Dixon Street.
That's right.
That's what we should do.
Oh, yeah.
We should bring back the bed race,
Okay.
and
I'm
that
on
should
board.
be that should be part of the Chuck and Bo games.
Again, somebody's going to have to build that,
Well, Bart,
We got it.
Bart does everything else around here.
That's true. Bart would definitely
Got time.
he'd definitely win.
I don't know about that, but we'll figure it
He
out.
ain't got anything to do.
All right, we need a little help here. Generally, we're just here for you as you go, throughout your morning, and we hate to be an imposition, but if you could, Edward, we're going to see if Edward can do this. 877
We're asking for your help.
377-6963. Let me tell you what's at stake. Either Edward gets this figured out today, or we're going back to Ty Richardson. And that has all kinds of implications, including a midlife crisis for Ty.
Early midlife.
And because I don't think there's any way he's coming back unless we give him some sort of Nico deal. And that's not happening.
He's holding out. He has leverage.
That's
He
true.
has leverage.
That's it. You know what? Oddly, this whole thing happened at the time when it became evident that players could get more money. And I think Ty got up one day and he looked at himself in the mirror and he probably said a few things. And then he said, I can do this. I'm worth more than this. I matter. I'm valued. I should be valued. There are other people that are being valued and I'm not. And so either pay me more or you can have Edward. So now we have Edward on the phones. Now, Edward does an amazing job, but this is a new thing in his job description. It was always there, but he hasn't had to do it yet.
Oh, we've talked about this day. We've
been
looked
talking
forward to
about
this
for
day. Oh,
days.
this is going to be so great.
We meet every Thursday, and we kind of psych them up.
Where are we? Where are we?
We smoke some of that Aaron
days away.
Rodgers stuff, and we're like, get yourself in a, what is it, ayahuasca?
Close enough.
Yeah, something.
We'll give it to you.
What is it?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca?
Like he's ayahuasca.
I don't know. It's drugs, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it may have been straight marijuana. We're not sure.
Peyote.
I mean, it's basically
one of those Indian things.
Anyhow, we all sat around in the conference room and tried to get Edward's mind right, and we got to see if this is going to work. 877-377-6963. We understand that that whatever the issue was has been fixed.
Has it?
Well,
but we need to hear from you.
We can confirm the phone lines work.
We can confirm there's a claim that it's working now.
Correct.
There is a claim.
By the way, we're way behind on sports quota. We've told you about Mason Jones. I'll tell you that Arkansas baseball plays UAPB tonight. Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm sorry.
We're now finishing each other's sentences.
I'm sorry.
No, it's beautiful. The chemistry is beautiful. Fresh off the series over number 11 South Carolina and that win, the softball team's back in action at 5 p.m. in Conway. They're at
the City of Colleges.
UCA,
yeah.
I'm finishing your sentence.
Yeah, that's great. On ESPN Plus. That was
ESPN
also in the notes.
Yeah.
Let's try one more.
Okay.
UConn star
Paige Beckers.
Yeah. Was selected. First
in the WNBA draft.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show, 631. Good morning. Those are your headlines.
When they do that, they can hear our off-air conversations. And I always want to know whether or not anybody can hear us.
We know how you are off
I
air.
know.
It's something to be
I'm
aware
aware of that.
Yeah, it's something to be aware of.
I know.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500 square foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry, it's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go. Good morning, Smack Daddy. What's happening?
What's up, Bald Brotherhood?
There you go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Summer's coming.
I'm already ready for summer. I'm ready for summer.
It's great. We're about to get Chuck off the road.
Chuck's looking forward to that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, if you're a baseball fan, you got a big weekend. Got a game tonight. That A&M series starts Thursday night. Friday night. Is it Saturday afternoon? I think that's right. So
they don't bring the yell leaders with them, do they?
I don't think so.
I don't
baseball.
think
so. I don't know. I've never seen him here, to be honest. But
you think one of those?
I don't
guys,
think that would go well for them. So I can't imagine they do.
So.
Do you think those guys are athletic? Like, do you think they could throw out a first pitch?
I think they think they could.
I think they can do backflips, things like that. That requires athleticism.
We probably shouldn't go there. I don't see a lot of athleticism. I see a lot of weirdness.
Well, I'm not,
Saturday's game at 4, by the way.
4.
All right,
that's right, because you got the football game at 1.
Yep.
Softball game before that. Football game at 1. And then baseball game at 4.
It's a whole weekend.
Wow. What a day.
Yeah.
Woo Pig weekend.
When's the series start?
Thursday at 7.
See, do we
SEC
have,
Network.
I feel like I read last week that we've got several Thursday starts coming up for base. These are listen. If we're here for nothing else, the Chuck and Bo Show has to help. We've got to help people reset their schedule. So when there's a massive move, like the games start on Thursday, like the series starts on Thursday, we got to be front and center with that.
Well, we have to
serve. Tell people.
We have to serve.
Well, I'm trying to. Every remaining series.
Well, hold on a second. Don't have an attitude about it. We go to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Sorry, here's Bart. Anyhow, the series starts on Thursday.
Yeah. What time's it start, Bart?
What's it on? Where do we find it?
That's
Is it
just Thursday night, right? That's just Thursday night, right?
SEC Network. Every remaining home series starts on Thursday.
Wow.
Now, that's the kind of stuff you got to hear and take with you, and you got to put in your calendar. Do you put everything in your calendar, Chuck?
No.
Well, I can tell.
No.
Well, I can tell.
I operate on memory.
By the way, you're the worst emailer of all time.
I answered your email yesterday. Within the hour.
What more do you want from me?
Within the hour.
That's fair.
mean, my God.
That's fair.
My goodness, I'm sorry.
Fair. Mercy sakes.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
my.
mercy.
Yes.
Yeah.
In your life.
You did.
Right.
Also,
in your life.
Speaking of which, we have Easter this weekend.
I know that.
I've been, I had a guy walk up to me at church 2 Sundays ago. Before it started, I'm sitting on the very end. He walks by, like, he kind of looks familiar. I don't know him. And he sticks his fist out and he gives me a fist bump and says, "Keep it up. Great show." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And then 2 minutes later, he comes back and he goes, "You think you can get Chuck here next week?"
Chuck has a church home. I have a church home. I do.
Yeah, Bedside Baptist.
No, I do. I have a church home. And I'll be there Sunday. It's
How about
Easter.
that? Yeah,
it's Easter. Come on.
Yep.
I'm not a heathen.
It is a big weekend.
Not a heathen. I mean, come on.
For all you people sitting around judging me,
That's right.
I go to church. Leave me alone.
Hey, I know people that go to church that,
Oh, don't we all? Yeah, we're all. Hey, look, we're all sinners together, Chuck. We really are. We are.
I know.
Yeah.
Why are all eyes on me all of a sudden?
Well, because I was. I
was trying not to make eye contact.
Bart doesn't. He didn't want to get into this. Bart's, him and his Catholic self. He didn't want to get into this over there. He's got big plans for the weekend. Starts on Thursday. The weekend starts Thursday this week. Then we got Friday.
Good Friday.
Good Friday. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then we got Saturday. And then we got Easter Sunday. Today's tax day. It's a busy week.
It is a busy
There's a lot
week.
going on.
I feel like tax day being the same week as Easter is kind of I don't love that. I don't like the vibes there.
Well,
but I don't make the calendar.
877-377-6963. I was staring at you in hopes that you would tell us about Weicker.
Well, I'm getting ready to. I am going to.
Just shut up.
I know. Actually, I didn't.
If you just shut the hell up, I'll do my own story about Easter, and I'll talk about Weicker.
Actually, Bart did alert me, and I forgot all this.
Thursday situation.
About religion started making me a little uneasy. It's like you guys getting ready to cast me out here, or what? What's going on?
Yeah, well.
Hey, let me talk.
Righteous Gemstones streaming now.
Yeah. Hey, let me talk to those of you who are maybe you're a real estate agent and you're not necessarily thrilled with where you are, or you don't feel like you're getting the best training, let me talk to you about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, for just a second. We talk about how they're the ones that can guide you home, so to speak, but you've got to have a well-trained agent for that to happen. This is probably what Weicker, not probably, it's what Weicker does do better than anybody else, and that's train their agents. So if you've got a change in mind, let us recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, to you for that purpose. Because if you want your training game to improve, I promise you they'll be able to take care of that very, very quickly. And you'll come out of that feeling like you know the business better than anyone else, because you will. And that's going to allow you to assist your customers, and that's what it's all about at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Now, they've got offices in Northwest Arkansas, Washington, and Benton counties, or in Fort Smith, or in Branson. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
Back of the house support is underrated until you don't have it. That's what you're talking about. The support you get.
That's right.
All that.
That's right.
It's what,
training.
It's what we have here.
Well, it's the high-level training we have here. We know about that.
Right. That's why we got an engineer in here today.
Yeah.
Liz is on top of it.
I know. She's all over it.
Bart, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
How is everything?
I'm doing great.
Okay, well, that's good.
Edward's having a nervous breakdown across the room.
Was a little stressed about everything and making sure everything was working.
And now that you know it doesn't work, there's no reason to be stressed out about it.
Well, no, I mean we're on the air. Everything sounds good.
It sounds good. Everything sounds great.
The live stream is up and running as it has been. Phone
issue resolved.
We're getting texts from pastors now.
Oh boy.
Yep. Is Chuck a CEO?
What's that, Christmas and Easter only?
Yeah.
Is that the deal?
Yeah, that's right.
Chuck's like, I've got a church home.
I do.
And I am a well-trained executive.
If you guys want to get into a little religious discussion, we'll
absolutely.
We'll find out if you guys really know what you're talking about, or if you just go to church.
Oh, we know.
That's two different things.
I love it. Special speaker Chuck Barrett.
That's right.
This Easter Sunday. Be here early, kids. He's going to do the sunrise service, just like he does on the Chuck and Bo show.
I'll have my seersucker jacket on.
You
on
will,
Sunday.
I know.
Bart, I'm glad
it's
you're
not about the fashion, Bart.
I know it isn't,
Easter's not just about wearing a new dress.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
No, it is.
That's a good point. There's much more to it.
Well, first of all, it's not new.
than bunnies and
Easter egg hunts
treats and Easter egg
candy.
hunts. Exactly. And ham. There's
Cadbury
more to it
eggs.
than ham. Honey baked ham. I'm holding in my hand a purple bag from Blakeman's.
Oh, look at that.
Do you remember why I would be doing this?
I think it has to do with the March Madness bet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was a bet. But
it
couldn't have been a bet because I wasn't getting anything in return.
That's right.
I said
it was a promise.
This is like when Arkansas was like 1-6 in the league or whatever.
Yeah.
That if Bart said if they get to 7 wins, they're in. Now we don't know categorically if that would have been true because they got past 7 wins.
Right.
But based on the way the seedings were and all of that, we feel like Arkansas would have still got in.
I mean, Texas got
But
in.
I told Bart that Chuck and I would get him something from Blakeman's.
Thank you for including me.
And you're in for half.
Oh.
And
I thought it just meant my name went on the card.
Once he opens it.
Like at Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. You got that, right? Yeah, you put my name on there, right?
That's right.
You wrote a nice note,
That's
right?
right, yeah.
So later on the show, Bart's going to open this. Probably in about 15 minutes. I think we might do it.
The excitement's gonna kill him,
7:15.
Wow.
And we're going to get into that purple bag.
What a day.
From Blakeman's. Oh, yeah.
New studio setup.
What a week.
Yeah.
Wait till you see what's in there. You're going to have a hard time with that humility on Easter Sunday.
Is it something he can wear?
I don't know. It's a brooch. 6:46. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Chuck, I believe this is all your fault.
Yeah,
I believe
you.
All right, there we
Thank
go.
you. And it's because he doesn't have YouTube TV for starters.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Zion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere. Ready or not, it is tax season, but luckily, H&R Block is here. Whether you need expert help with your taxes or simply have a question or two, your neighborhood H&R Block is here for you. Taxes are hard, but filing with H&R Block is easy. Walk in or make an appointment and get 100% accuracy and your max refund guaranteed. Put 70 years of tax expertise to work for you. Get those taxes squared away today at H&R Block. The two best guys in mediocre sports radio.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
when streaming became a thing, Chuck became the ultimate homebody. So I don't ever have to leave now. It's all right here. My whole,
a lot of truth to
my
that.
whole portal to the outside world is through streaming.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We got any updates on Nico Iamaleava?
I have not heard anything.
Iamaleava?
I heard
My
at one
close-
point yesterday, I heard he was going to North Carolina, and I may still. I don't know.
Apparently, there was a report that came out that said that's not
true.
happening. Yeah,
Not true.
Yeah.
I'm leaving NIL transfer Iamaleava.
Yeah.
Iamaleava.
One more time.
Iamaleava.
Iamaleava. I had it all year.
You did.
Like I had it in the fall. I
All
had it good.
football season.
But I'm like, for those that will get this reference, like Chuck Knobloch.
Oh yeah.
I can't.
Got the yips.
Yeah. Who's the catcher that got the yips? Couldn't throw it back to
Mackie
the pitcher.
Sasser.
Yeah. I
Steve
can't.
Sachs.
I can't throw to first base. I can't throw it back to the pitcher. It just suddenly left me.
Dak Prescott.
Iamaleava. Where's the rim? We gotta get the rim
from
shot
way
going
downtown, baby.
We gotta get the rim shot going.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know. That was quick.
That was.
That's Dak Prescott. Yeah.
That was really funny, Chuck.
That was.
Thank you very much.
That was
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So where's Nico going to end up? By the way, do you mind?
Go ahead. What do you got?
Can we leave Bill Belichick's girlfriend alone? Like, I'm talking to the social media world. Can you just leave? Can you just let this go?
Well, it seems to me like, and I'm not saying that I really know, but it seems to me like she likes the attention. I mean, my impression is she enjoys the fact people are looking at her picture and talking about it. I may be missing it.
She was dressed to the nines at their spring game or spring practice, and I think she's trying to put a microphone on him. Probably the only one that can.
She just wants to be a star.
And she's in his
she
pocket.
Just does. She
and
just wants to be a star.
And it's just gone viral with the song that, on TikTok, and now it's on all the other platforms. And they're playing Girls Just Want to Have Fun. She's putting the mic on. But, I don't know. It's kind of run its course with me.
Yes, it has.
I'm just kind of like,
too.
let's just leave it alone.
Yeah,
Like, let's let Bill coach, and let's let her be, her, and let's just move on. But that's just me.
Football season can't get here fast enough.
I brought it up because Nico was supposed to be going there.
Football season's going to start, and you're never going to think about Bill Belichick's girlfriend.
No,
it's
not,
never going to come up.
Absolutely, it will. Everything I just said is so far beyond happening. I mean, she's going to be front and center all year. Like, it's going nowhere. That was a waste of oxygen.
I mean, just
it's going nowhere.
The whole deal is just with every day that passes.
It's just what?
He's like 10 years older than me. I mean, he's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
It's just unthinkable.
The age gap
unimaginable, really.
The age gap is my entire human existence. And I'm approaching 50. You know what they say, you got the beginning and the end. What are you going to do with your dash? So there it is.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatgnomecosmetic.com and click on the Sweat Gnome Edge.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopascal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Pascal Price Check. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
If you're having issues with your gutters or drainage around the house, you need to call Hog Trough Gutters. They're locally owned and operated with over 30 years of experience. Seamless gutters made on site, trenching and French drains. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured, and every job comes with a 20-year guarantee. Hog Trough Gutters services all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Log on to their website, hoggutters.com, to find out more. That's hog, GUTTERS.com.
We bring in players. They didn't grow up with a whoop victory. They don't bleed hog red. They bleed money.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I've been up since 4. That's 2.5 hours ago. I had lunch already and a smoke break.
Took his 15-minute break.
Let me just tell you right now, this show doesn't wake up slowly most days. We come in hot. Some people sandbag the 6 o'clock hour. They kind of find their footing. Chuck walks in with a cup of coffee in his hand at 5:51, and he walks up to me and he goes, "What do you want to talk about?"
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
Driving my son to school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Another major announcement coming moments away.
Really?
Yeah, what's in the Blakeman's purple bag?
I've been wondering all morning what is in the purple bag. It's got the B on there. Is that for Bart or for Blakeman's?
Blakeman's.
Okay.
But it's a good fit.
Yeah.
Cafe B could be Cafe Bart.
Cafe Bart.
Yeah, we got to. Actually, that's not a
Well,
bad
why don't you
idea.
come on into Cafe Bart?
Yeah,
I'll make you a latte.
That's an overnight jazz show. That's like Delilah After Dark. Yeah.
I could provide music.
Cafe Bart.
Do I?
Yeah.
That's
I
probably
could
not
provide
the vibe.
music for that.
Yeah.
Delilah's probably not the vibe.
Yeah. Well, it's
Delilah's not the vibe I'm going for. Just in life in general. But
What would your show be? What would Cafe Bart overnights?
Yeah, what would you talk about?
Or late evenings, like requests and dedications. People call in with they mark their moments at Blakeman's and with Bart.
Maybe we'll do some advice. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could hand
Bart's
out
advice.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That's coming.
That would be
That's
great.
coming to the Chuck and Bo
We
Show.
can do that.
Cafe
Whatever
Bart.
your question is,
Cafe
I'll
Bart.
It's going to be a new
advice.
segment.
It's like write it down.
It's been born organically
cannot lose
right here,
this.
right
Yes.
now. Cafe Bart.
Cafe Bart. Oh, that's gonna have.
We're going to talk about it in the next
figure out
meeting.
The music and it's Ask Bart questions.
Yeah,
life
just
advice.
Anything.
It could be anything. Whatever.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Something like that.
You can go to therapy. You can pay for that, or you can get it free with Bart.
It's either that or Scott Farrell.
That's right. Why don't you slide on into
Yeah,
Cafe
it's
Bart?
a
Let me
joke
take care of
that went
for you.
over many people's heads. Old Scott Farrell, the old radio host that talks like this.
You gotta
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Get in here, kids.
Yeah. You got to huff down 2 packs of smokes before every show starts so you can sound exactly like
Literally, the guy went on Letterman multiple times just because of the way he sounded, the
I
way
know.
he talked.
That was his whole shtick.
Yeah, and he did a great job with it. Still
That was
does.
his whole deal.
Overnight somewhere.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
still
know.
doing it.
Yeah.
He's old. and-
Career overnight guy.
Yeah.
And, hey, we need those people. We do.
Yeah.
But Cafe Bart coming soon. Anyhow, we've got a gift from Blakeman's.
Man.
For Bart that we'll get to. Bart will get in the purple bag and figure out what it is. This is Bart's award for predicting correctly that Arkansas would make the NCAA tournament way back when.
Well, when the naysayers were saying nay, Bart was saying
yay.
Bart was saying yay.
Yeah.
And that's got us to the point
that
we
what
are
the
now.
naysayers say?
Yeah.
Nay?
When they say nay.
Yeah, and we have to just we keep receipts here.
We do.
Yeah.
We keep receipts, and it's coming.
By the way, if I'm in for half, I'm going to need to see the receipt.
Yeah.
At some point here.
Let me go ahead and get that out.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, all right.
Poor Bart gets in that. Go ahead and take that out right now. Chuck thought that was a card that I had signed for him.
No,
it's actually the receipt.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
There's only one, I'll tell you, there's only one signature on this, Chuck, and it's not a card. Yeah. It's a receipt.
Can you write that off?
And your name's not on it.
Can we write that off?
Tax day is today.
I know.
H&R Block
That's
can
what I'm
answer
thinking.
questions like that for you.
I was teeing it up for you.
It's not too late. You can still walk in there today. They'll help you out. They'll always help you out. You got to file an extension. You're like, oh, my gosh, I need help. My accountant, this, whatever that, didn't work out. H&R Block can still help. 70 years of tax prep expertise going to work for you at H&R Block. Seems like also a good time to tell you about Flight by Yingling on tax day.
Yeah.
Huh? The next generation of light beer is a
never
Flight
too early.
by Yingling. 95 calories, tastes like a Yingling, but it's a light beer on tax day.
That's really beautiful.
And here's the other thing.
That's really well done.
If you do choose to have some this morning, and I'm not recommending that, but if you do, it's got the new resealable twist off 16-ounce bottle out. Flight does. Yeah. And I have it in my hand. Take a pull on the way in.
Stick it back in the fridge.
Take a pull on the way out. Put it back in the fridge. That's exactly right. Kind of on your schedule. Yeah. On your schedule. Flight by Yingling.
That was really.
That's a professional broadcaster right there.
That
is years of training.
Tommy taught me well.
Years of training.
What can I tell you? 877-377-6963 is our number. The phone lines are working.
They're open.
They're
wide
open.
open.
They're working.
They're working.
If you missed it earlier, we're in a new setup today.
Total new configuration.
We've brought it in-house. That was supposed to happen like 7 months ago, but Bart was busy. He had, life was coming at him. And
there's a lot going on.
There's a lot of stuff that happened, and we're just happy to be here. I can't believe we've been doing this show for, 7, 8 months?
And all this equipment's just been lost on a ship somewhere out in the ocean, and it finally came in.
Well, when they paused the tariffs, we finally got it all in.
It was like hovering, 10
almost
miles off the coast out on a boat.
No, almost 7 months.
Finally, we got it in here.
7 months. Almost 7 months. Mm-hmm. A lot's happened.
Yeah.
A lot's happened. My oldest son and his wife got a house, thanks to Weichert. I'm going to be a granddad.
I forgot about that. Pops.
Is that going to be the name?
Yeah.
Pawpaw.
I'm going to be about our year anniversary. I'll be a granddad.
Bobo.
Now, could you imagine when we started the show? Among the things that will happen in year one is me becoming Papaw.
No, I didn't see that one coming. Papaw's not going to work though. We're going to need something
Pawpaw.
else.
Do you want
Bobo's
to be
on the
referred
list.
to as Bo or Pawpaw?
Bobo's all right.
Let me ask you
old
this.
Radio throwback.
Yet again, first of all, this is a segment that is the opposite of what we said we were going to do when 100%. Chuck and I were grabbing coffee.
Yeah, let's promo the fact Chris Lowe's going to be on.
Chris
and we'll
Lowe's
talk to him about
on.
Nico.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Okay, well,
we'll get the Blakeman's thing. We'll probably set that up and do that at like 7:15. And here we are on this topic. Yeah. People aren't supposed to give themselves nicknames. Do we all agree?
I agree.
Like you're not supposed to give yourself a nickname.
I think it's very
now.
uncomfortable.
I changed my name from Dwight to Bo. Like when I was doing traffic reports at 20 years old in Florida.
An air name? That's an air name?
It was an air. Well,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it had to be on multiple stations in the same market. Wow. You couldn't use the same name because they did traffic. This company did traffic for multiple stations.
I think that's different. That's like part of the job. I mean, you have TV names, stage names all the time.
It was my stage name.
I had no idea.
But I was actually on stage. I wasn't doing traffic reports. Anyhow, so it's a different story. So I don't consider that a nickname. Like I just changed my name. So can you give yourself the grandpa or grandma?
You can't decide what you're going to be called.
That's what I'm asking.
Well, I think at first potentially, but
I
then
think people
do
this. I think it's more accepted.
But then it depends on then it's up to the kids and whatever the kids come up with.
Yeah.
Like whatever they say, if you're going by Papa or whatever, they can't say it. It turns into something else entirely.
Maybe something like Poppy or something like that.
Well, I feel like you start talking to your grandkid before they can talk. Like, Papa loves you.
Yeah, but then they can't say Papa,
that
so it
natural.
becomes like...
That was good.
Yeah. Well,
practicing.
It becomes like...
Papa loves you.
That's what my mom and dad are to my kids. They're Mimo and Papa.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, it's Grammy and Paul. So I don't know if I can be any of those things. I should be some
Paul.
Paw
2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
P-A-W. You're going P-A-W, aren't you?
Paw 2 Electric Boogaloo.
P-A-W. Paul. I'm your Paul.
Dash Paul.
You're going to have to stay with Paul.
Paul.
Well, Mommy and Daddy have a night out. You're staying with Paul.
God, what a night.
My dad is Pop.
Please, Mommy, no.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
I just look at the TV and gripe about everything.
Pillow Talk with Bart has come in as a suggestion for you.
I think Cafe Bart.
Yeah,
I think we've got our name.
Pillow Talk is not the vibe.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
Cafe
looking
Bart.
for feedback. Well, actually, I think we should just all vote on it on the air. Like, you guys are part of my family. Everyone that listens to this show is just part of the Chuck and Bo family. We're building a community here.
That's right.
Honestly, we're building a community. I'm being serious. We want to have a community. We'll all be in. David and Cersei's talked about, like, hey, we're just like part of the family. So I'm open for suggestions. I will not read anything off Twitter, but maybe off the text line, which does also become like a little bit like Twitter sometimes here. So I don't know if I can completely trust it. But if we get some name options, I'm willing to consider them all.
They better be good because I think Cafe Bart is. I just think it's a natural.
Oh, I think he was talking about his grandfather.
Well, yeah, Cafe
okay.
Bart
I'm sorry,
has
I
been
tuned
decided.
out for a minute. I'm sorry. Sorry. I was reading the text line.
His natural instincts kicked in, and he's like, this has gone on too long.
No. It
Time to
wasn't
move
that.
on. Let's talk about Nico.
No, it wasn't
Nico.
that. I was reading the text line while you were talking.
I almost called him Nino. El Nino. That's my new name for Nico. El Nino.
Oh, I thought you were going to call yourself Nino or something.
Yeah, Nino. Nino.
NIL. My new name's going to be, my grandpa name is going to be Nil. NIL.
Yeah.
NIL. I'm just going to.
ATM.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
877. Jeez.
That's what it's going to be.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. It's going to be ATM.
ATM. Bank of Dad.
That's it. Oh, Bank of Granddads.
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks again. Now it's the First Security Bank time. First Security Bank's the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. Helping you bank better, helping you have grandkids, helping you
trust fund,
put together lifetime savings.
Trust fund, college fund.
Yeah, college funds, wedding funds, graduation funds, birthday funds, all of that. First Security Bank can help you. FSbank.com online. First Security Bank, member FDIC. All right, 877-377-6963. When we come back, what?
Nobody's calling in. We need callers.
Well, I mean, it takes a lot to call a show.
I guess so.
It takes a lot of guts, a lot of courage.
Edward's like over there gnawing at the bit to test this out.
He's
because
frustrated.
the first hour it didn't go quite the way everybody had planned.
Edward wants to talk to you people.
Edward wants a chance of redemption. That's
right.
what this is all about.
Yeah, let me try it.
This is Clint Sterner, 1999. That's what this is all about right now.
I'm gonna call him right now. 877.
You think that's over dramatizing it a little bit? Maybe. Think I overshot the mark a little.
Just a bit.
Bo's gonna call in. This'll be good. Whoa,
Back to
man.
get a
That's
feedback
top
loop
shelf.
here.
Top shelf.
Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
That's how it sounds.
That's awesome.
That's how it sounds, people.
Victory.
There you go. It's that simple.
It's a moment of triumph.
When we come back, Bart gets his Blakeman's bag and he opens it up. What's in there? And we'll get into the Iamaleava. Ooh, Nico. Chuck Knobloch.
By the end of this, I'm not even going to remember how to say his name because I've been corrected.
Well, you need to. Where's
What was it Brent said yesterday? Malaava?
Oh, Iamaleava. Guess where I'm going.
He just left off the
just
first
leave
half of the name.
the first syllable.
Malaava.
It doesn't mean anything. Just get right to the Malaava part.
Nico Iamaleava. Guess where I'm going.
Good morning, Hog Country. I travel with my work, so I'm on the road a lot. So you guys are on my station.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We care a lot about supporting Arkansas businesses here on the Chuck and Bo Show, and we both like keeping our rides looking good. Splash Car Wash just became our new neighbors here in Fayetteville. They're a locally owned Arkansas business, and they've been serving the state since 1989. They're good folks, and you can get a free car wash by texting Splash Arkansas to 22322. That's Splash Arkansas to 22322. I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978. Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's for health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnome Edge.
Man, can you imagine if we all lived together and we just walked into the living room at like 6 a.m. and just started talking each other's heads off? There's no good morning. I can't have my first cup of
somebody
coffee.
would get shot.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
A lot of times critics don't know what the hell they're talking about, and I don't think they know much what they're talking about on this one either.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right.
It's time.
It's time.
Get Bart
It's past time, really.
Blakeman's gift. This is for Bart predicting that Arkansas would make the NCAA tournament when others didn't believe.
When they were 0-5.
When the naysayers were doing what?
Saying nay.
They were saying nay. So what's in this bag? The purple bag from Blakeman's.
It's a nice bag. I'm sure it's a nice gift.
Have at it.
Open it up, Bart.
Wow.
There's a lot of
This is from Chuck and I to you.
With all our respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
a
at
nice
that
box.
Nice. Hang on.
I mean, it's an experience. You got some matches.
Cafe-
yeah, you
yeah.
got Cafe B
Yeah.
matches that will also double as Cafe Bart when we start the new segment with Bart, where you can call in and ask him anything about life.
It's so much fun to watch Bart open a present.
It is. It's an experience.
It's like Christmas morning. I feel
It's
the
an
joy.
experience. I should have brought you a bottle of Blakeman's Prosecco, and you could have had that while you were maybe a little mimosa while you were doing this.
Why not, right?
For the experience. Everyone's just dying to know
Well,
what's
you watch
in there.
this and you realize the gift really is in the giving.
Yeah. See if you can figure out how to get into this box.
I'm not sure that I can.
Pretty fancy box.
It is a pretty fancy box.
In the next
Wow,
segment,
look
whoa,
at that.
Wow. What is it, Bart? What is it? What did we get you?
Look at that.
Wow.
That
Watch.
is quite
That's
something.
a Blakeman's classic.
That is awesome.
That is a
Blakeman's watch.
beauty.
That's really nice. Yeah. Look
at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I'm
Now,
trying to-
see, now look at you on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, this
Everybody's
is
going to
great.
be staring at
It's
you.
going to match your seersucker and everything.
Yeah, this is
Look at that.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a day.
Look at that.
Well, Bart, you know, Just shows
Red-
how
red
much
and
you
black.
mean
Say
to everyone.
goodbye to your
Right?
single days, buddy.
Yeah. I tell you what.
Yeah.
This is it.
That's a matchmaker right
is
there.
great. Yeah.
Look at that. What do you think, Edward?
I'm envious.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, who's
Well,
not?
I knew that was the idea.
Don't leave that sitting out.
We
Bart.
want to create. We wanted to create
That's
some
really nice.
motivation for Edward as
That's
well.
right. Yeah. Edward's
You
thinking,
too.
well, that could be me.
You too could.
That could be me.
You too could. Reach to.
You mean all he had to do was say they're going to make the
that-
tournament?
right.
He gets a watch? Are you kidding me?
Right. I should have got you one if the Chiefs had won the Super Bowl. For all that crap that Chuck gave you and me about pulling for the Chiefs.
That's a much higher bar than what Bart had to clear.
I don't know. Bart was out on an island there for a while. By the way, I think we're totally overselling what Bart actually predicted.
Yeah, I was going to say. It's not like,
I'm
pretty sure all of us.
I think it was
Bart
one of those
faced down
deal-
the masses
I think it
and
was
said
one of
no.
those. Yeah, I'm not even sure you deserve that. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Go ahead and give that to Edward.
But hey, look at that special moment.
No,
we
that's
just
really
all had a
nice.
moment here. Another family moment.
That's really nice.
Oh,
That's
we
what
can
you
be-
get with
I'm very
Blakeman.
appreciative.
You get moments like this.
I'm glad you like it. Now, Bart, they said that if you come up there, you can get it engraved. You can do, they put a razorback on the inside of it.
wow.
They could
7
do
wins.
whatever. Put 7 wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could mark the moment. That's what they
great.
do. They mark
Yeah.
moments. There's a moment. Arkansas Sweet 16. You can put that in there.
I know this.
I was right, and they went to the Sweet
I know
16.
this.
I was right.
Nobody's giving
go with that.
nobody's giving Jerry Palm a watch today. Nobody's giving him a watch.
Well,
Jerry's.
they might have given him one on the way out the door.
Oh, boy.
He didn't even
At
get a gold
CBS.
watch.
Should we hire Jerry Palm as our own bracketologist now that CBS has moved on?
I don't know. I don't know that that's something
We could
should
ridicule
do
him on the air when he's wrong.
Well, it'd just be like First Take. I mean, that's what they do to each other on First Take. You just bring them in here and
Just rip
let
him
them say
open.
things and just say that's a bunch of crap. What else you got? That's not right either. Are you kidding me? How long have you been doing this?
30 years.
All that.
He's been doing it a long time. That's what he said when he was on. I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Anytime someone says, hey, I've been doing this a long time, I mean, you need to listen.
This is actually, I think, how the watch came about for Bart. By the way, congratulations. Seriously, you earned it.
Thank you.
Save that bag, carry it around. It's the presentation's beautiful. How it came about, I think, is when we had Jerry Palm on, and then we had to do our own analysis. And then Bart really stepped up. We were like, well, if you're right, since you're not in the bracketology rankings with all those other geeks, we'll award you. And so that's how we got to where we are today. Monumental day.
Well, it is.
On the Chuck and Bo Show.
Thank you, Jerry Palm.
Yeah.
Shout out, Jerry.
Bart had no idea that appearance by Jerry Palm on this show
Would change
was
his
going
life.
to lead to what
Would change his life.
That's right.
Well, it turned out it changed his life, too.
Because, Bart Sunday.
Do you think that we're at fault?
No.
Good.
No,
Okay.
that was a joke.
It's going to momentarily feel bad.
No.
That we had led to the demise of a long-time bracketologist.
I'm just looking forward to the way this Blakeman's watch is going to change Bart's life. Hey, have you seen my? I can just hear him. Hey, have you seen my watch? Let me tell you a story about how I got this watch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, and
it's a conversation
that's part
starter.
of it.
right.
That's
a
part of it.
conversation
The
starter.
story behind it. That's why we play golf, so
Yeah.
we can sit around and
That's
talk
right.
about our round. That's why you went crappie fishing.
That's right.
You can sit around and you also tell stories while you're fishing.
That's right.
But when you give a gift, you want to have a story a story
right. Yeah.
behind it. And next is your first tattoo.
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, that's next.
Really?
Within the next
Is
year,
it in
we're
the plan?
gonna get
Is
Bart
it
a
really
tattoo.
in your life plan?
Maybe at some point.
Yeah.
Really?
Maybe.
Where are you going to
It's
get
in
it at?
yours too, Chuck. You just don't know
No,
it yet.
it's not in mine. It's not going to happen.
You just don't know it yet.
It's not going to happen.
You just don't know it yet.
I'm too big
You know
a
what I'm
baby.
gonna? You know what I'm
not-
gonna do?
What?
I'm gonna get you coordinates to the office, so in case you ever get lost, you can find your way
Well,
home.
that's
Take me back to the studio.
Put his home address on it.
That's perfect. That's what we're gonna do for you.
that's pretty
Then
good.
eventually we're gonna have to put like your phone number. We're gonna start with numbers.
No, just
So we'll
my
have
name is
coordinates,
Chuck.
and then we'll have like numbers like well, that one's my home address, that one's the office.
Please
and
take
then
me home.
please call this person if you find me. Yeah, it's very practical. Like it's incredibly practical. Okay, we still haven't gotten into the NIL situation,
There's
but we
no
will.
reason to,
I don't
really.
think Nico. I don't think he knows where he's going yet.
I don't know.
I think that they've put themselves out there now, as though there would be a lot of suitors, and maybe we just don't know yet. The portal opens on Wednesday.
Well, and he can't go to another SEC school. There's a
now,
rule about that.
Here's what I don't understand. How can they make him live up to that part of the contract, but he doesn't have to honor the contract?
That's an SEC rule. Like,
it's not a Tennessee rule.
No,
it wasn't in their contract.
After you cannot transfer to an in-conference school during the spring portal period.
Listen to that insight from the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room.
Yeah. That's the sort of thing you'll be.
So, like, if a player decided to leave the Razorbacks or something after spring ball ended, they could not transfer to another SEC
Wait a second.
school.
When did that come about? Because Arkansas had players going to Ole Miss.
Not after
spring practice.
Oh, not in the spring.
I wasn't listening when you said that.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. That was the key phrase. That was the key phrase. Was after spring practice.
That is key. Yeah. In my follow-up question. You idiot! He already said that. I've done that in interviews before. Too.
I have to. That's when you can tell the person is not listening.
You know when I always start sweating in an interview? Yeah. When their answer starts with, "Like I said before."
Yeah. Well,
like I said. Right. Like I said. And again, like I just said.
Well, like I said a minute ago. Yeah. I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah, you're clearly here to get through all your questions and not hear anything I have to say.
Well, sometimes you'll have like 6 or 7 questions in your mind, and they'll answer every single one of them.
Yeah.
With their,
They do a great job of just rolling out.
Yeah.
Or you just get lost for a moment, like particularly those of us that have ADD.
Yeah.
Get lost for a moment.
I've even forgotten about what we're talking about
one
now.
Sentence. I wonder if he's already got a deal in place somewhere, or if this Tennessee transfer Nico
Iamaleava,
that guy.
My initial thought was he's got a deal in place. I'm not so sure now.
I'm not either.
I don't know. Somebody mentioned Tulane yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that was a report from On3.
I have a hard time believing that, but obviously there's something there that's made him. You don't just report out of the blue.
He was going to get like $2.4 million at Tennessee. Is he really going to do better than that? Whose side of this, by the way, are you on? Chris Lowe will join us at 8:00. ESPN's Chris Lowe, who happens to live in Knoxville, and knows the Tennessee program very well. Whose side of this are you on? Are you on the school side, or are you on Nico's side?
I like what Josh Heupel had to say.
Or do you hate the game? Josh Heupel did speak about this.
You hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. Well, it's still true.
We're moving forward as a program without him. I said it to the guys today. There's no one that's
Can you hear that?
Power T. That includes me. And they hear me say that a lot inside of that team room. This program's been around for a long time with a lot of great coaches, a lot of great players that came before that laid the cornerstone pieces, the legacy, the tradition that is Tennessee football. It's going to be around a long time after I'm done and after they're gone. And that's what's special about being here is that there is a legacy and a tradition that is so rich and a logo that's recognized not just across the nation but across the world too. And today you got a chance to see 110 guys that ran out and competed their butts off that give their all for Tennessee.
So I hope you could hear that okay, because again, we're in our new studio situation and I can't hear it as well as it looks like the levels are going out over the air. So hopefully you heard that. But that soundbite from Josh Heupel right there, Chuck, I thought was kind of lame.
Well, he said about the only thing he could say. And the program does have to be bigger than the player. There's no doubt about that. Now, he was in a spot where he sounded to me like, this was not what he wanted to see happen. My gosh, he's losing a quarterback that he was planning on hanging his hat on this year. So I'm sure from a coach's perspective, he's in a little bit of freak-out mode there.
Let me I shouldn't say lame. It was vanilla. It was like you didn't give me anything about the actual situation.
No.
He's not choosing whether he wants to play for Tennessee. Like that's like, by the way, everybody there is getting paid. So everybody there's in part there for the money. We've got to get out of this idea that I just want to be a volunteer or I just want to be a Razorback. I love the idea, and I wish that's why people were going places in today's world. It's not.
Not for a guy like that.
Not for a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Your pitch in the recruiting process, whether you're coming out of the portal or out of high school, is not mostly about come be an Arkansas Razorback. Unfortunately, that's where we've gotten. And that's what I mean about hating the game. And I'm not sure, I don't know if the rev share, I think it will help with some of this. And I think all things being equal, money-wise, or close to equal in terms of you're a recruit, here's what you're getting offered, then it comes down to, do I like the situation? Do I like the environment? Do I want to be a part of that? So I still think it matters on some level. But for Hypo to come out, well, these guys want to play for Tennessee. No, one guy's got a problem with his contract. He doesn't like it. That's what it's
fair.
about.
That's fair. I get what you're saying. That's fair.
And I think that's the whole discussion. And what are we all doing with that? And how is it going to impact college football? We got to hit a break. 7:32. Bart's in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Hey, beat inflation and upgrade your ride at Chevy of Fayetteville right now. You can drive home a brand new Chevy, a Silverado, a Blazer, an Equinox EV. Rates as low as 1.9 APR. Plus, take advantage of huge discounts and get top dollar for your trade-in right now. Fayetteville Auto Park, which has Chevy of Fayetteville, Toyota, Acura, and pre-owned. All right there. Did I say Honda? And Honda. Fayetteville Auto Park, just off the bypass in Fayetteville, 25 years, going strong. Good morning, the Chuck and Bo Show. It's 7:33. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
For 5, 10, 15 seconds, stare it down and ask yourself, is this really a bracket that's going to determine the best team in college football?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
scenics of San Francisco are just amazing. You can just drive that Golden Gate Bridge and go sit over there and have a street hot dog.
I did have one of those street hot dogs.
Oh,
man, was it good.
Oh, it's so good.
I mean, it was good.
Oh, it was so good. Fresh fruit everywhere.
I didn't go for that, but those street hot dogs were good, man.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, what a day it's been, Chuck.
It has been a red letter day.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It does sound good.
It does.
Means it's a big day.
It does, yeah.
Means it's a big day.
I know the red letters in the Bible are a big deal. I just kind of thought that's where you were going. Easter's coming up, and
you thought that was it.
I did.
It's an old. It's an old phrase.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it means,
Like
but it's a red letter day.
Scarlet letter.
Yeah, I don't think it's scarlet.
That's not a good thing.
It's a different thing.
Scarlet letter's a bad thing. Yeah.
Bart's in his purple Blakeman's bag, the famous.
You got your watch on?
Well-known.
Are you wearing your watch?
No, I haven't. Should I put it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's it's a great
I
conversation.
don't know if the cameras can handle it. It's
I would have put
it's
it
an
on
eye
right
popper.
away.
Huh?
I would have put it on
Well,
right away.
I'm gonna tell you, if you leave that thing laying around, Edward's
That's right. Edward's going to steal it from you. Edward would have put it
Edward's
on
got
first thing.
He's got an anniversary coming up.
That's
Can he
right.
borrow it for like his anniversary dinner?
Got to look sharp.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
That looks great. It looks like you're Nico and have an NIL deal.
Bart's got his own deal.
Yeah.
Well, Bart held out. He said, I'm not coming in tomorrow unless I get a better watch. I don't want a watch with Mickey's hands on it. I want a real watch.
Yeah.
I want the Blakeman's logo on
It's
it.
like these other shows, they're offering me
That's
a watch
right.
if I'll
That's
come
right.
produce for them.
But it's just, it's a.
But we're too invested for that.
That's right. That's right.
So on the Nico situation, by the way, for those of you texting, yes, we are aware, including the play-by-play guy, the voice of the Razorback, sitting over here to my right. We are aware. Yeah, you might need it sized.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
get it.
we'll do that.
We'll get it
We'll take care
sized.
of that.
It might fit your bicep.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Calf.
You get it.
Hey,
But look at that. Oh,
Wow, that's a beauty.
Man, that looks great from here. I can also see what time it is from here.
How about that?
That's fantastic.
That is awesome.
Thank you, Ben Blakeman.
Yeah, absolutely.
He handpicked that for you.
Well,
Brought
you
out
did a great
whole
job.
box. There were a whole bunch of great ones to choose from.
You did a great job.
And he said that one, and I was like, "Yep, that one."
Yeah.
And so there you are.
And Edward's giving you the side eye right now, so you better watch that watch.
Edward is
Or
not
it's-
hiding the envy.
Or it's going to
gonna
end
lock-
up in
we're gonna
Edward's
lock it up.
house.
We're
I
gonna
don't
lock
mind
it
the
up.
sizing on it. I'll take. It's a little big. I'll wear it up on my forearm. That's fine.
Forearm.
On my forearm.
It's not a problem for me.
He's all about it. So we are aware that Madden, Nico's brother, does play for the Razorbacks, and Chuck will be and did pronounce his name all last year. We're just not there yet. Well, I'll speak for me. I'm not there
It's
yet.
not football season.
I'm not there yet. Well, it is the spring game on Saturday.
Well,
Chuck's going to
yes.
be calling it on Saturday.
Okay.
1 o'clock. I
He's
hope
gonna
the
play.
weather cooperates. It's supposed to rain all day Saturday, and I hope it doesn't. It's still early in the week, so maybe it'll change.
Big weekend, Thursday baseball game.
That's right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You got softball and baseball and football
All on supposedly on Saturday.
all on the same
And
day.
all the events around the spring game.
That's right.
What all's going on around the spring game?
I
I don't have it in front of me.
I don't either.
We'll get that.
I don't
we'll do that
either.
between now. and-
I'll
Yeah,
I'll
Bart,
have that.
get
I thought
in
I
the
read
situation
something
room.
that there's sunrise yoga on the
There is
practice.
that's
sunrise
right.
yoga.
On the
There is
practice. That's
sunrise,
right.
but that's just for
Yoga.
Bart.
That's right. But all of his friends, anybody that wants to do yoga.
Yeah.
I think I'll go down there.
Bart
and
has sunrise yoga already at his house.
I'll take one for the team, and I'll go down there and film that for social
Would you
media.
really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Hop
Cup
on
of
up.
coffee in hand.
Go get it. I'll see you a little later in the morning.
Yeah. Well, you should actually think about including a stretching routine.
I love conversations that start with here's what
Here's
you need
what
to be
you
doing.
should be doing,
Here's what
Chuck.
you should be thinking about. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's what you could,
Yeah.
if I said it more appropriately.
You
in
could.
a healthy way. Yeah.
You could.
What you could think about is adding a stretching routine to sort of your pregame routine, prepping for a game.
Yeah.
Just do, some scorpions.
I need to do
and
that.
Some couch stretches and,
Yeah. Well, you're
some just
assuming I
yoga
don't.
moves.
You're
Yeah.
assuming I don't.
Hogtown also
Hogtown,
also
okay.
happening. On north side of the Razorback Stadium. That starts at 10 a.m. Music, food trucks, just like on a normal game day situation there. So you've got that. You've got the softball game against Colorado State at 10:30 over at Bogle Park. Red-white game is at 1. And then baseball against Texas A&M is at 4 o'clock.
Have we confirmed the sunrise yoga? Have we confirmed that, or is that merely
I don't think it's Sunrise.
Or
I
is
think
that
it's
a
like,
rumor?
I think it's like 8:30. It was in a different email, the same one that had the kids' 100-yard dash that happened last weekend.
Sunrise Yoga.
Sunrise,
is what it's
You
called.
are right.
Let's see.
Hence the name.
9 to 10 a.m.
It's not sunrise.
I was going to say 9 o'clock. Sun's already out.
The sun's been up for a while at that point, but it's called Sunrise Yoga, so we're going with it. Okay.
Come on, man. Come on.
That's what it's called. It says Sunrise Yoga right here.
Mid-morning yoga.
There's a graphic and everything.
Yeah, we got a little mid-morning yoga session going.
It sounded good.
There's a graphic powered by Burn Boot Camp.
They're going to be on the field.
Practice field.
Practice field.
Practice field.
Okay.
Yep. The session is free, but RSVP.
Wow.
The Sunrise Easter service at my church starts at 6:30.
I was going to say that's actual sunrise.
That's when not at 9.
I kind of like that 9 o'clock thing, though. Calling it sunrise.
Yeah.
That's
it.
That's good.
877-377-6963 if you want to text or call the show. So I wonder if Tennessee is going to be better or worse at quarterback this
They're
year.
going to be worse.
Like what kind of an impact? And then wherever Nico goes, does that change the fortunes of that team? Like, is this a big free agent move right here? Or did everybody lose with this move in this system? Because
I think everybody loses.
I mean, how do you leave an innovative mind like Josh Heupel, who's built an offense built on your strengths, and then maybe not even get more money? Like, to me, that's not winning for the player. But that's just me. 7:46, the Chuck and Bo Show, back in a minute. Chuck, have you ever had oat milk?
No.
Do you like squeeze milk out of an
Or
oat?
is it just milk over oats?
Yeah, that's what happens. How does that work?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, PRECIDENT. We'd love to help.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
I want to make a couple of points here because I have the floor.
All of it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hang out the rooftop lounge.
Good morning, sir. Anybody that says sleep's overrated is not 66 years old. I'm going to tell you right now.
Boy, you're not lying.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, good morning to all of you on the way to school, all you parents dropping your kids off. Yeoman's work. And kids, have a great day at school. Also, for those that are streaming the show and you listen or watch via the stream on YouTube or Twitter or whatever, it's a little change today. We just play our network commercial breaks, and then when the affiliates go to local, Edward plays music.
Man, it's incredible.
In the last segment, I felt a change. Like it was a little better than
We need some hard driving music. We need hard driving music.
Well, what I was going to suggest is Edward could DJ the breaks. So if you are getting ready for work, you're around the house, you get the Chuck and Bo Show, and then you get some pick me up tunes, and it's just a real good. Yeah. It's a whole different experience for you,
Grandmaster
the streamer.
E.
Yeah,
the Big E. We got the Big E over there, and that's a good idea.
Chuck, you're
send in your song request.
Yeah, just text them 877-377-6963. Chuck, you're a broadcaster, professional, Hall of Famer, play-by-play man. Watching this base, I saw this. I saw this tweet.
However,
I saw this tweet, and it's better probably visually than the audio, but they've got a sideline type reporter roaming the stands in this. I don't even know which telecast it was. I'd have to go back and look.
It was a Braves game, I believe.
Okay, yeah. That's right.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
game.
this guy.
So this guy's up in one of the outfield upper areas where, people stand around and have drinks and watch the game. Let's just listen into the reporter who's going to try to land a phone number.
We're having a lot of fun up here up the Corona rooftop. Who do we got here? What's your name?
My name's Lauren.
Lawrence, all right.
And I'm Kayla.
Kayla. And you guys hang out at the rooftop lounge often?
You guys come here often?
Once a year I come out to visit.
Okay, well, we timed it pretty well. All right, good. How are you guys feeling about rooting for the Braves today?
Oof, I don't know. I'm hoping for the best.
What about you? Are you a Braves fan now?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, I'm gonna go to work up here, guys. Good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, Wiley. You got 4 innings to get the numbers.
I'm on it.
Get us some more Braves fans.
All right, so they want me to get your number.
They want you to get my
I'm dead serious. They're saying to my ear right now, she doesn't believe me because she thinks you guys are not. I'm making this up. Even if you guys weren't, I might use that in the future. That's actually a pretty good move.
This is unbelievable. So the best part of this right now is that Wiley could totally be faking it. This might be the new move. Just walk around with a FanDuel microphone and an earpiece in and convince fans that they're actually on TV.
I should have thought of this years ago.
I am speechless.
I got the number. We're good.
Gino, ever done that when you went down to him on the sideline for a
No, but
Walmart
I'm
sideline
sure,
report?
I'm sure he's thinking about it now. I don't think those girls were really there to watch the game. What do you guys think? I don't think they're. Hey, we got to go watch the Braves.
I don't think he was really there to do a serious interview.
Yeah. I wonder.
How about those questions?
I wonder why.
Are you here? What do you think about the Braves?
Yeah, you girls come here often?
Are you here to root for the Braves? Yeah, how often? Are you guys up here on Tuesdays?
Yeah.
You come here often was the dead giveaway.
Well, and she said, once a year. Just happened to be here tonight.
On a scale of 1 to 5, what kind of game did you give that guy?
I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3. Yeah. I don't know if he'd have done it on his own without goading from those guys on the other end. They were his wingmen, basically, is what it boiled down to.
I don't know.
You think he got her number?
No.
I think he did.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Chris Lowe coming up.
We were 0-5. They put us all in the coffin. They just didn't put the nails in.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
If I were to buy you a piece of jewelry, Chuck, what would you want?
A nice watch.
A nice watch.
Yeah, nice watch.
How about a bracelet? You like those beads that people
I'm not
wear?
really into that.
Would you wear beads?
No,
on your
I'm not into
wrist?
that. No pinky rings, nothing like that. But I wouldn't mind a good watch.
A pinky ring for Chuck.
I know. I am not a jewelry guy. I'm not a jewelry guy. No gold chains. I'm not into male jewelry. It's not my thing.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's start on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
A lot of conversation coming out of the transfer portal and the situation at Tennessee that we've talked about off and on for a couple of days. It's been the talk of college football, really, with Nico getting himself out of Tennessee, and now the question is, where is he going to go? How did it all go down? What does it mean? Looking at the landscape, Chris Lowe lives in Knoxville, covers college athletics for ESPN, has done it for years, but happens to have a front row seat to what has transpired here, and kind enough to join Chuck and I this morning. Chris, good morning. Thanks for hopping on with us. Hope you're well.
Chris.
I'm great, guys. It's always good to be with you guys there in the great state of Arkansas. Now, can you say Nico? Can you guys both nail Nico's last name, the pronunciation?
I went Chuck Knobloch on this the last 2 days. I can't throw the ball, but I can't even get the ball, back to the pitcher.
How do they say it in Knoxville? Chris?
A lot of different ways.
Yeah,
and different now than they did 2 weeks ago. But Iamaleava.
Iamaleava. That's Bart's shoulders for days.
Well, his brother's playing here. He's not starting. Obviously, Madden's here, and Chuck's going to be calling the spring game on Saturday. He'll be ready. I don't know if I will be, but Chuck's calling the game, so I don't know if I need to.
I'm just going to call Bart and Chris.
Yeah. Well, apparently that last name is worth a lot right now, Chris. What happened here? I'm just sort of I'm wondering who wins in this situation, if anybody.
That's a great question, because I don't know if anybody does. You say you feel badly for the kid. I don't think this situation was not driven by the kid. Let's just put that out there. Now he bears responsibility because it's his career. He's 20 or 21. This is his family, his reps, his handlers, his attorney. You're going to see probably a lot more of this. Kids get bad advice or listen to the wrong people sometimes. I know I've done that in my lifetime. And I don't know that the market is nearly what they thought it was for him. So, he's a good enough talent that somebody's going to pay him something. But he wanted $4 million from Tennessee. He was making about 2.4, and potential is everything in football and sports. And he's got the skill set. He's got a big arm, but he was just okay last year. He hasn't played to the level where he should get $4 million. But then somebody else said, "Wait a minute, Carson Beck got $4 million at Georgia." Beck was really good in spots, but so I guess it's subjective about what a player's worth is. We're going to find out over the next week or two when the portal opens what he's worth. But if you're looking at it from Tennessee's perspective, so they're left with a redshirt freshman who's got a handful of mop-up snaps as a third-teamer last year, and a true freshman who should be going to his prom right now. So they don't have anybody who has any experience, as you guys know, in the world of the SEC. Man, you go into an SEC football season with a quarterback that has never played. That's tough sledding.
Chris, when this happened, we talked about this earlier this morning, that the initial thought, at least in a lot of parts, was, well, this has been brewing. This is a done deal. He knows where he's going to go. He's going to sign with somebody in a day or two, and we're going to understand at that point that this was all worked out long before the fact. Now you look at it, and it's like, well, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if he has any idea where he's going to go. What's your take on this?
No, I agree. I think they're going to see what's there. They've been talking to people, reaching out to people. but have been for a while. I think that's the thing that probably needs to be emphasized here. This was not, it should not have been a surprise to Tennessee. And they've been shopping him for a while, going all the way back to the winter portal. They called Miami, they called Ole Miss, they called Oregon, they called USC to see, what kind of interest was out there. And so this has been brewing. And I don't know that the family had a specific plan, but we'll see. UCLA probably is the leader in the clubhouse. That's where his brother was. And I think early on in Nico's high school career, UCLA was sort of one of the destinations that they were looking hard at. So it'll be interesting. I know the quarterback that UCLA just got from Appalachian State, Aguilera, was maybe his agent was maybe looking around because they felt like that UCLA may be taking Nico. So you see the kind of butterfly effect these things have, and it's really everywhere. I bet you when we kick it off in late August this year, as you look around the country, I think this was the case last year, that close to 50% of your starting quarterbacks will have started their careers elsewhere. And that position in particular, as we sit here in this gray area, the house settlement hasn't been approved. Everybody's trying to get a bunch of deals and a bunch of money front-loaded, so it's not on the books before this settlement. I don't know what tomorrow might look like, because clearly it doesn't look like it's going to be approved before the portal opens tomorrow. So look out, not just at quarterback, but a lot of positions. I'd say there'll be a lot of coaches and collective members and administrators and agents and fathers of players all on the phone tomorrow.
Hey, we read the report that Dan Lanning in Oregon was actually the one that kind of clued Heupel in on this. Was that true? I mean, based on what you've heard, is that accurate?
I don't think it was Dan. I think it was somebody on Dan's staff.
Okay.
That called Tennessee. And that is right, though. Oregon did alert Tennessee that he was being shot. Probably more than anything, guys, that I don't think they wanted to see him at USC. Excuse me. And I think that was just sort of, hey, FYI. Mm-hmm. But that did happen. And Oregon was one of the teams that I know the family had interest in going to. So it's we'll see if they did overplay their hand, how much they overplay their hand, or who knows? It takes one team, right? One team decides, and there's some big money guy says, you know what? We're pretty darn close. We need a really talented quarterback who is maybe on the cusp of breaking out, that can throw the football. We'll pay him $4 million. Because he's going to play one more year. Wherever he goes, it's going to be at that school, and he's gone. He's going to try to go to the NFL, or he'll go elsewhere, because this is a tough transition for him. You go in late April, early May, you got basically, 3 months in the summer to learn the offense, and then you got to play and ingratiate yourself in the locker room. There's going to be a lot of schools that, like some players in the draft, some GMs just take them off the draft board because of issues in the past. That's going to be the case with him now as he looks for. Some people will say, we're not taking him regardless. And whoever does, he's got some work to do. His family has some work to do to win the kids over in that locker room, because everybody knows, I mean, this has been front page news now for a week, what has happened. So it's, he's starting over, and it's like starting a race, and he's starting a good bit behind the rest of the other people in the race. So we'll see if he can do it. I talked to one SEC coach the other day who is an offensive-minded guy, who told me, he said, hey, listen, I thought the kid was going to be really good this year. I thought he was going to be one of those guys that broke out. He has a year of experience under his belt in the SEC at quarterback as a starter, which is critical. He's got all the tools. I really felt like, this is coach talking, that he was going to be an upper tier quarterback in college football this year. So if that's the version somebody gets of him, whoever that is, it won't be in the SEC because you can't transfer it within the SEC. Then maybe it's the right roll of the dice by the family.
Talking with Chris Lowe, ESPN about the Nico Iamaleava story and where he's going.
There you go.
Yeah, I just had to look up the pronunciation guide and practice while Chuck asked the previous two questions. It's called, let's being motivated. Chris, I look at Nico's situation. On one hand, I don't blame him because he's in a system that allows this. On another hand, I can see why people want to say, have some loyalty, stick to your word, whatever. The bigger thing to me is and Saban well. You spent a lot of time with him. You've done numerous interviews with him. I don't know how to stop this other than, what's coming, but I think they're just going to find ways around that. Unless you have contracts. We talk about coaches can leave anytime they want, but they've got specific language in their contracts on what a buyout is and all that. What do you think? Is this why Saban left college football as a coach?
Yeah, it's going to be it's been fascinating, Bo, to see all the reacts to this because it's all over the board. Former players, media, fans, other coaches. I mean, you've seen players in particular, former players, sort of come to Nico's aid. You've seen some in the media, most against it. Coaches pretty much all had say, kudos Tennessee, you did what you needed to do. Some of the newer deals now, NIL deals, have language in them that includes buyout if you break your deal. I think Walter Nolan at Texas A&M, when he went to Ole Miss, had to pay some money back to A&M because he had that buyout language in his contract. Now, how successful are you going to be in getting that money? Do you got to go to court? Do you wait a long legal battle to get it? I don't know. So I guess it probably would fluctuate on how much money you could really get back and how much. But no, I think Nick saw this coming. He had some of his own instances there at Alabama where people want this, want that, players right after they had just played in the Rose Bowl, and there'd been some other things. I don't think that in itself was a reason, but it was a reason because not that he could not have adapted, because he probably adapted better than any coach has ever coached the game across the board. I just don't think he wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're seeing that with other coaches.
Yeah, just the way he was grounded in what he believed the sport should be and what teams should be and a program should be. I think all those things, he just says, you know what? I think he was quoted. I know he told me this. He said, this is just not what I signed up for. This is sort of not, he said, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. This is not who I am or what I wanted to be in football. And so, yeah, I think it was a reason. This is what I'll say about Nico, okay? I agree that this is an ecosystem that's been created. Kids have a right to negotiate, ask for more money. They feel like they're worth more money if they want to go elsewhere. We're in a state right now in college football where they have the ability to do that, whether you like it or don't. But where the gloves came off for Tennessee is when he missed practice and he ghosted everybody. He didn't call his coaches. He didn't call the players. They kept trying to get him. He didn't go to meetings or practice that day. He wouldn't talk to anybody. It had been brewing, as I said. I think Tennessee knew that they'd been shopping around. At that point, if I'm a coach, there's no way I can march him back in my locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a teammate, how do you take that? Now, I know a lot of those guys say, well, hey, I'm going to get a new deal too. I'm going to hold out. But you just can't do it. And had Nico and his family handled that differently, clearly they wanted more money. Hey, go to practice on Friday, go to the spring game on Saturday, and then you say, okay, listen, we're going to sit at the table Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're going to work this deal out. I want more money. I'm worth more money, and here's why. They work out a new deal, and Tennessee says they're going to pay him. Okay, so be it. If they don't, he goes in the transfer portal. I think if that scenario played out, the conversation we're having right now would be a lot different. Yeah, Tennessee fans would be mad he was gone, or it would leak out he got more money. Maybe that might not go over the greatest, but it would not be what we're doing right now, and we would not be, in this place as far as the kid held out, the first quote unquote holdout, and then era. It just wasn't handled. I don't think it's what he did, Bo.
Yeah.
Chuck, I don't think it's what he did. It's sort of how he went about it.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. And Chris, we'll have you back soon, hopefully, to talk about the backside of this as we get into rev share and a new way of doing things. But college football is changing daily. We've seen it coming, and it's going to be interesting to see how it affects the fall. But always appreciate you hopping on with us, man.
Thank you, Chris,
Such
very
a treat.
much.
Yeah, tell Bobby Petrino I said not to spoil his grandkid.
I think that's already happened.
Yeah, well, the rumors of Petrino and being a granddad and not getting after it coaching are greatly exaggerated.
I'd say Bobby Petrino knows what he's doing. I would hang in there with
Agreed.
Bobby.
Agreed. We're anxious to see him with Talon in year 2. That's going to be fun to watch. Chris,
thank you.
Thanks a
I think
bunch.
it'll be really good.
Yep.
See you guys.
All right, appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. Talk soon. We'll talk to Chris more. He talks to Petrino, has talked to Petrino. Chris is one of these guys that is just so well connected because of who he is over the years. And he can get to coaches and get interviews that a lot of guys can't.
Well, he's well respected.
Well respected.
Very well respected, and he's fair, and I think you hear that come through when he talks.
100%. Chris Lowe, ESPN, many thanks to him for hopping on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning, 818. I mean, I don't know if it's old or just like...
Well, the world's changing. It's like Bart said a little bit ago. When he summed it up with 2 words. I mean, things change.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
I like craft beer. I do. You guys always think I'm like the biggest dork on the face of the earth.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
For me, this was as rewarding a year as I've had in all my years. Now, I've had teams that were better and finished better and national champions and all that stuff. This was a different reward. Different reward.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thanks to Chris Lowe for joining us. You know, I got a lot of thoughts on this, and they change every day.
Please share.
And, well, first off, when he said this was not a surprise, I believe that 100%. I can tell you just from being around here and some other places, they know when a player's thinking about going into the portal. There are very, very few surprises. I can tell you that almost to a man, every Razorback that entered the portal at the end of last season, they knew was leaving. I'd heard his name come up. And they were not surprised by any of that. So I'm sure that when Oregon informed them of what was going on, that number one, they somehow made Oregon mad to prompt them to do that. But I'm sure that is true. Now, I also want to say this: we've gotten texts and just questions that I've heard from people just out and about. Well, what does this mean for his brother, who's at Arkansas, his younger brother Madden, who will play Saturday? What does this mean in terms of him as a Razorback? What's going to happen if he's really good? The honest answer there is I don't know. But what I do want to say is this is not something he has done. No matter how you feel about Nico or his dad or how all this has transpired, this has nothing to do with this kid. Now, we can, you're sometimes guilty by association. That's just how the world works, and I get it. But I think we should keep that in mind. Don't put this kid behind the 8 ball because of the actions of his brother or the actions of his father. Don't make him pay for those sins if you view them as sins. Let him find his own way here and let the chips fall where they may. Because whether we want it to be that way or not, this idea that we're going to have an assurance that everything's going to be okay, that's out the window. Coaches don't have assurance, fans don't have assurance, players don't have assurance. The idea that we're going to feel secure in a player that's going to be ours, those days are over. So, I mean, we can long for him to come back, but that's not going to be the case. You said a little bit earlier in the show today, whose side are you on? I'm on the side of the fans. And the fans are getting hosed on this, just like they've gotten hosed on a lot of things. People wonder, well, why is there not the allegiance that there once was? Well, that goes both ways. That goes both ways. It's hard for fans sometimes to buy into a player or a coach because they don't know if he's going to be here next year or not. And buy in, I mean, emotionally invest. I saw a headline yesterday that said, this thing with Nico is going to be a tipping point for college football. There's a part of me that wants to believe that this will be the incident where we'll all look at it. And I read Saban's statement yesterday. I mean, we all want it to be like it once was. And folks, that's never going to happen. I'd like to believe this is a tipping point, but my brain tells me it's not. My brain tells me this is how business is going to be done, whether we like it or not. This is how things are going to work. Coaches have been able to do it. Their agents have been able to do it on behalf of coaches for years and years and years. And now the players can do it too. Now the players can hold out just like others can. There have been reports that they talked about doing this before the bowl game. It's not really relevant now because he's gone. But I don't doubt it for a single moment. But fans are paying for this. You think, I mean, that $4 million or whatever they end up paying these guys, I mean, the revenue share, even if it's just one booster out there, it's his money or her money. So the idea that there's going to be winners and losers in this, the fans are going to lose. And that's what makes me mad about all this. Tennessee fans have lost. They're paying an extra $10, $15 per ticket. There's no telling how much their donation level's gone up. My guess is they're not going to be sitting in the same seats their grandfather sat in when they go to the games. And they do all this so their quarterback can hold out and then end up going somewhere else. Of course they're getting shafted. And when you say, whose side are you on? I'm on the side of the fans. And unfortunately, the fans are getting the short end of the stick on this. And it ought to make them mad.
College athletics is a monopoly. College athletics is the only thing we have if we're a sports fan, and that's what we grew up with. If you grew up with the New York Yankees or you grew up in a professional landscape, you have that. If you grew up in the South or where college football was a big deal, that's what we have. And there's nowhere else to go. For the things that we enjoy and the entertainment we have, they got us. So it's been bulletproof for a really long time. And I'm not sure that's changed, and I'm not sure it's going to change because we want it. And we're willing to pay for it. Not everybody, but enough people that will keep it around. And what's happened is it's been completely mismanaged because they didn't have to manage it any better. And now we're just seeing all the cracks in leadership and togetherness and like pulling it into some sort of system. Everybody knew this was coming. And the NCAA has never and will never be set up to deal with it. And that's why you're seeing, in part, conferences like the SEC and the Big Ten look into alliances where they basically just separate when it comes to their sports and how they treat it. I mean, Big 12's looking at, listen, private equity money's coming to college athletics. College athletics is going to be run in a more professional way. I don't know how far away that is. I don't know what it'll do to the game. My hope is that it will make it better because we got one toe in the water here. And we don't know how to handle all the things that come with that. And the way, now the waves are coming and you're not prepared for it at all. And here's I do think, Chuck, that Nico, it's a shame that this 21-year-old kid is in a system that's basically encouraging him to get as much money as he can. And what he probably doesn't understand, and we don't fully understand, is all the ramifications that are going to come with that. Because I think they're going to be significant. Like, he's already now become a disliked figure of college football, and it's sort of unfair because the adults set this whole situation up.
It's the greed of the adults that's screwing this whole thing up. Nico's 19, 20 years old. He doesn't have a clue. We act like these guys are smart and they're, he's greedy and he's 19 years old. He doesn't have a clue. I mean, it's greedy adults that are, and I'm not talking about this situation necessarily. I'm speaking generally. It's greedy adults that have screwed the whole thing up. And it didn't just start with this. I mean, it started years and years and years ago with
agents and coaches.
What fans are being asked to pay for. Fans ought to be pissed. And too often it's like, well, this is what we got to do. Well, no, it's not. I mean, this is
it's hard to tell anybody that can get more money that you shouldn't get more money, but how often do you see making a move for the money really work out in the best interest, top to bottom?
But when we say the money, that is fans' money.
Agreed.
That is the fans' money. They are the ones that are giving that money.
That's what college athletics is.
That gets lost. That gets lost.
It's supposed to be a
this.
Not-for-profit business.
Well, a lot of people are turning a profit. I can tell you that.
I know.
There's people living well.
Well, that's what happened.
And I don't begrudge them.
That's where it started.
I don't mean to sound bitter about all that. I've been around this a long time, and it's just how the system works. But I'm not naive enough to believe that this is going to be a tipping point. I wish it were.
And you mean in like fixing it? No. That's what you mean by tipping point when people talk the tipping point to fix it?
We cling to this idea that revenue sharing is going to fix everything. And revenue sharing probably will help. But this idea that there's going to be strict adherence to NIL rules, that's a pipe dream. I mean, I know they've got a clearinghouse, and I don't mean to sound, negative about it, but I'm still going to do what I do, and I'm still going to watch all the games, and we're going to talk about how exciting it is when we get to Monday mornings in football season. But I'm not naive either. And there's a part of this that's I'm not going to use the word dirty, But again, the fans are getting the shaft.
Iamaleava. Iamaleava.
Madden Iamaleava.
Iamaleava.
Madden Iamaleava.
There you go. You'll be calling it on Saturday. By the way, we're getting text in. Chuck is a man of the people.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I've been around this long. And I mean, look, it's not just here. It's everywhere.
I like it.
It's everywhere. Fans are getting asked to foot a bill that is ridiculous.
Being a Tennessee fan today, that's
horrible.
Not that people feel bad for Tennessee fans, but put yourself in their shoes. Hey, put yourself in the shoes of having to get your taxes done today because you're like, oh, what? Yeah, today's tax day. H&R Block can still help you out. Walk in or make an appointment. Either way, they'll help you out, answer your questions, or just file for you, get you an extension if you need one. Find an H&R Block just around the corner from you. We're a little bit over our head here, but we're doing the best we can. We're doing the best we can.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatgnomecosmetic.com and click on the Sweat Gnome Edge.
Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and McDonald Eye Associates is my one-stop for any vision need. The progressives they have me in are a game changer, and my new sunglasses are going to be great for baseball season. McDonald Eye was the first practice in the state to perform LASIK, and they have the most experience. They also have the new vision correction options for all ages, including cataract and clear lens replacement to see your best from all distances. For your best vision, McDonald Eye is the place to go. Does the show feel like it's always a friendly environment? I was going to say, just like
I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're on.
It's friendly. Sometimes you get yelled at, but it's still friendly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
was one of the great non-marriage times of my life, I'll tell you that. To meet Chuck Berry, the only thing that's even close to is meeting Bo.
Wow.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Wait till he meets Bart. Bart's in the Situation Room, and Bart has thoughts.
That purple Blakeman's bag right next to him.
Yeah,
He's
new
got a
watch
new
on.
watch.
He's feeling like the man.
Look at there. Look at that. Look at that. The bag it's exciting. It
sets the whole thing off.
Yeah, it really sets the mood.
You can put anything in there and pull it out like an ice cream sandwich. Pull it out, it just tastes better.
That's right. Welcome to Cafe Bart.
Purple bag. All right, okay.
What are your thoughts, Bart?
That'll be later. Situation Room, Chevy at Fayetteville. Here's Bart.
So, just coming out of what we were just talking about, what you guys were talking about with Nico, what Chris Lowe was saying, college football is no longer about the fans. It used to be. But it's not. And I find it interesting that we're having this conversation and that all this is happening coming out of the Masters, which is a perfect example of an event that is all about the fans. Like there is no sporting event in the world that is more about the fans than the Masters. Everything about that event is tailored to an incredible fan experience, whether you're watching on TV at home or whether you're there. You know, there's a limited number of tickets. They don't increase the supply of tickets. So there's always a demand. There's always people wanting to go. The concession prices, that's beautiful. The concession prices are low. You know, they're the lowest concession prices you're going to find at a sporting event. Merchandise is relatively inexpensive, or what you would pay off the rack for a new polo is what you're going to pay there. The whole experience is tailored toward the fans, and that's what makes people care about it. College football used to be this way. College football used to be a fan event. It used to, like the pageantry and the thrill. Like, you went tailgating before the game. You went to the game. Tickets didn't cost an arm and a leg. You didn't have to make a donation to some foundation to get a ticket. Concession prices, it didn't cost $1 million for one beer at a game. Everything, it's become an inconvenience to go to a college football game. You are inconvenienced in how much it costs and what is, like, how early you have to get there to deal with traffic, like everything. And now you've got players quitting on your team because they're not getting enough money. It's not about the fans anymore. And it's sad that this is what we've come to. It's not going backwards, but they've got to figure out ways to fix it and I'm not saying fans don't care about their college football team having success. Clearly you care, but it's not about you anymore. You're not part of it anymore.
Well, the big television, you're right.
Very well done.
I mean, you're right. And I'm not sure, I'm not sure what the overall answer is. I don't know, because here's the deal. If your team's good, all is right with the world.
100%.
If your team's bad, everything
You
sucks.
said it earlier. You don't know what to expect anymore. Like, if you go to a Cowboys game, you're paying $15 for a drink, but you know exactly what you're getting when you go to Cowboy Stadium. The experience is going to be great. You're going to be treated great by the people that work there. You don't know how your team's going to play, but you know what to expect.
You're right.
You know what guys are getting paid.
Right.
You know that they're being overpaid, and now you're on them, and that's all part of the conversation that permeates the week. Like, all week long what the conversation's about, where it's going. You don't even know what's happening in college athletics right now, and you have no idea who's going to be on your team next year. I mean, Arkansas is one of 6 teams. Edward found this stat earlier. One of 6 teams out of 16 teams in the SEC. They're one of 6 that's returning a quarterback to start a second year. And a lot of that's about the portal. I mean, Georgia, as good of a season as they had last year. Carson Beck's going to Miami for more money. Tennessee built their offense around Nico. Josh Heupel, innovative offensive mind. I mean, I'm not saying he's the best and brightest and only offensive mind in the country, but hard to imagine Nico's going to be in a better situation for his career and his success and his on-the-field superlatives than being at Tennessee. But because of the money, he's going to go somewhere. So we don't know what to expect. And you're right, Chuck. I don't know that we're ever going back. It is the classic, the toothpaste is out of the tube. And now they're chasing it. They're like trying to figure out how to clean up the counter. But they're never going back. Like, the toothpaste is going to continue to come out of the tube, and what are you going to do to manage it on the counter? Like, it's just never going backwards, and they're playing catch-up.
Unless there's some good old-fashioned collusion here, and nobody signs this guy. Or if they do, they sign him for like about a third of what he was asking for at Tennessee. If you make it where these moves fail, then you might stop them. But that's not going to happen. I'm not stupid. Somebody's going to sign this guy because he's a good player. And my guess is he's probably a better kid than we're giving him credit for. I'll go back to what I said a little bit earlier. It's greedy adults that have screwed all this up. It's not kids. Kids are just as stupid as they ever were, just like we were when we were that age. They're not that much smarter. Their parents think they are, or in some cases their advisors or their uncle down the street or their pastor or whatever. Everybody thinks they're smarter than they really are, but I don't like the fact that the kids get blamed for all this because the kids are most of the time just following directions.
Well, this may sound, I don't know what, Pollyannish or naive or whatever, but you're the third or fourth person I've heard talk about the Masters being that way this week, Bart. And the only way that you do something like that.
The word's patrons, by the way, too.
Sorry. That's right.
I couldn't resist.
With apologies.
But the only way.
To the Augusta National Golf Club.
The only way Augusta National Golf Club has kept the Masters the way that they have is a conscious decision.
Yeah.
And they decided this is what our values are, and we're going to live by these values. And when we no longer live by governing values, I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about our own values that we choose for us. This is what I'm going to stand for. This is what I'm going to do. And we chase whatever we can get that just is the shiny thing or the more monetary thing or whatever. We're all to blame. Yeah. We all do it. But it's a great example. And one of the reasons it's a great example is because it's so rare. You know who else does this? Maybe it's a Georgia thing. I don't know. The Savannah Bananas. Like, they are becoming now this bigger and bigger attraction. But when you go to games there, all the concessions are low. All the leftover food goes to like a food pantry.
Highest ticket, $60.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, it's meant for a fan experience. It's just hard. I wonder how you're going to get that back in college athletics. But I know this. It starts with a set of values that you got to live by and that you got to stick to. And right now, they don't have that structure in place. We got to hit a break. It's 8:47, Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The way you guys have fancied up the pig in the blanket, I mean, it's just kolache now is part of my vocabulary.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The doors are open, and it's a new era of elegance. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry has unveiled its stunningly redesigned 8,500-square-foot showroom for an unmatched luxury experience. There's breathtaking jewelry, of course, expert service, and private viewing rooms designed for comfort. And they've got an in-house cafe with handcrafted coffee to go along with a special coffee table book celebrating Arkansas's heritage. Because it's more than jewelry. It's your story at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold.
DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You know the sound, you know the place, and you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Thank you all for your show. It's a great format in the morning. It's really nice to have knowledgeable people to wake up to and listen to. So thank you all.
I am not a planner, and that's the problem.
How does that, this may be a little personal, sorry. How does that work in married life if you're not a planner?
Well, evidently not well.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't want to overstate this, but I do want to make this point that I thought of the last couple of segments when we were just talking about all this and you know, the problems that coaches face and, you know, the money and the greed and the, you know, all of that. And that's not to cast stones, just the system that we have. You know who seems to have done an incredible job throughout his career handling all of this, and I think is doing it again, has continued to, is John Calipari. Like, when I think of all these issues and everybody dealing with them, I think Cal has sort of mastered the idea of making sure everybody wins, making a family, making the team feel like bringing everyone together, that you're all on the same page
And when I think about the Nico situation at Tennessee, I'm not blaming Josh Heupel, but I think Cal has done a remarkable job throughout his career of not only having a relationship with the players in recruiting, but maintaining that relationship for a lifetime. And by the way, that takes skill, it takes talent, it takes patience, it takes learning. And I'm not trying to overstate it as if he's perfect and doesn't ever make a mistake and nobody's ever going to leave him. I mean, that's just human. But I think he's done a great job, and I think he's equipped for the era we live in right now. And Chuck, this is a challenge for everybody in college athletics.
Oh,
I mean, like athletic directors, fundraisers, everybody.
Yep. Well, you're right. I mean, and look, it takes a lot of money to make this thing work, and that's just the reality of this situation. The idea that you're going to be able to compete for championships on the cheap is, that's just not the way it is. We all are waiting for someone to be the one to take the stand and say, I'm not doing it. I'm requiring you to sign this. We're going to do that. If you leave, we're going to do this. Well, those guys are going to finish in last place. That's just the truth.
Hogs play baseball tonight, 6 o'clock on the SEC Network Plus. They're at home against UAPB. Chuck and Bo Show back tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday, everyone. You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Zion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in